focus on my face. There we go. All right, so we're back working on blue again today. Switching back over to this is my primary focus. I have to work on the 04 STI a little bit, mainly because it's overheating. I'll talk about that in another video. I already figured out why. Well, Matt and I both figured out why it's overheating. So we'll get that fixed in future. I don't know when, sometime in the future. But today there's a whole bunch of random stuff that we're gonna be doing on blue to get things going. I'm gonna order another one of the 35 pin connectors for the Canon plugs. The 47 pin that I have now isn't labeled enough for me to be able to fully understand where the hell I'm putting pins. So every time I try, everything is like skewed off. It's very difficult to feed some of the pins through on the 47 pin connector for some reason. So the 29 doesn't have enough 20 gauge wire. The 47 has too many, so I'm doing another 38 pin, and then we'll just color code both of the 38 pins so that way we don't get them mixed up. But as you guys saw, we also went through and got the hole cleaned up for the Canon plug pass-through. I've got one of them put in there right now just to see how it'll fit up. Fits perfect. The steering rack, I went ahead and recentered that, got everything fixed. We will need to align the car. In the last video, we got the DCCD put in. We got the steering rack swapped out, the subframe swapped out, a whole bunch of stuff. Today, I want to do, we have to do a little bit of sandblasting today, which I absolutely hate sandblasting because it takes forever and the compressor just runs all the time. But we got our ID2600s in for the car, so I want to get these set up on the fuel rails. The fuel rails are like that bronze, or not the fuel rails, the TGVs are like this bronze color right now. I don't know why I did that. I'm just going to do them black. I'll powder coat them. They'll look fine. So I think that's where I'm going to start today, is a little bit of sandblasting. I'm going to pop in my other headphone. A lot of people ask me to like set up the camera to see the sandblasting. I can barely see through the cabinet. So if I can barely see through it, the camera's not going to be able to see through it. So let me go knock these out real quick. I'm probably just going to skip past it. It's going to take me a little while to sandblast these. So get them sandblasted, get the injectors and everything set up in there with the fuel rail, so that way I can get just kind of some more stuff assembled, ready to go on the new engine when it comes in. So let me go blast. Well, this has been absolutely joyous. It's been about 3 hours, and I finally have both of these sandblasted. And to further torture myself, instead of powder coating them, I've decided I'm going to polish these. That's gonna suck, but they're gonna look so good when they're done. So yeah, make this thing look as minty as possible, I guess. So sweet, let me figure out what I'm doing next, because that took entirely longer than I ever wanted it to. So I started doing some other stuff at the shop, and it didn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you're like going on a project and you're like, I'm totally veering off path, I need to stop. So that's what I did. I stopped. I ordered the proper connector. So the 29 pin didn't have enough of the 20 gauge. 47 pin had too many, so I ordered another 35. 2-day shipped it, so that'll be here in 2 days. The tires for the STI shipped out today. They're 275 35 18 Toyo R888Rs. That was an expensive purchase I didn't want to make. Now I've decided to torture myself. So as you guys remember last time, I painted the EG's manifold black. I'm gonna torture myself and I'm gonna polish it. I'm also gonna polish those TGV runners over there. I bought a whole bunch of sandpaper, bought some aircraft stripper, aircraft strippers for the manifold to be able to get all that black paint off a little bit easier. So I'm gonna torture myself by polishing. If you've never polished metal before, it's a very repetitive process of sand, 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 polish, 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 sand, polish, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know, I was gonna sit here, I was gonna polish these things up, make them look real pretty, right? Yeah, I don't hate myself that much, so I'm not going to do that. I did go ahead and do like a casting cleanup on these. So I pulled out like all the weird things that were on here, like they're like little like casting tabs, little nubs, things like that. One of them said like Japan, a whole bunch of like little weird stuff on there. So I pulled all that off. They look way better. I'm gonna powder coat them tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here for a week polish these. That's not gonna happen. But look at these things, man. They come out super minty for casting cleanup on here. So sandblasted them today. This took way longer than I was anticipating it to because my sandblaster just sucks butt. Gone ahead, I am polishing this. That thing is going to be as shiny as I can freaking get it. I let that thing sit in aircraft stripper multiple times. There's still some black paint on it. It's not a big deal. When we go to polish that's gonna be easy to polish because it's huge. But like things like down here and whatnot, I'm just gonna have to sand off the paint down there. Like I've let it sit in aircraft stripper like 4 or 5 times at this point. So I think this will look really good polished. I would really like those polished, but you know, I don't hate myself that much. Salutations and good morning. We're back at the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and get these things cleaned up, masked up, and plugged up, and then we're gonna start powder coating these. Let's get going. got our fuel rails, fuel injectors, and TGV housings all done. So we are using the radium fuel rails. We have the adapters for the injectors, so we are running ID2600s in here. I will not run out of fuel this time on the dyno. I'd rather have way more injector than needed than not enough injector, because last time we had 1300s. Ideally, I would like ID2100s or 2150s, but they don't really make them anymore. It's not a big deal. We have the 2600s now. This will support literally any power that we want on this car, which is Gucci. And huge shout out to Rally Sport for sending over the injectors also. Remember, discount code if you guys are buying anything from over there, hit them up. But that's all I'm gonna do right now over here. I'm gonna swing back to the house. I'm gonna pull off probably a couple more wheels, shove them in the WRX, see how many I can fit in there, because the tires for this car are out for delivery. I'm trying not to show up there because it's kind of blown up. The tires for this thing are out for delivery, so I'd like to go get those mounted today, bring them back here, get them back on the car, and get this thing potentially back on the ground to see what it's going to look like. So let me start pulling off these wheels and start getting them loaded up as the picture's blown out. I am so sorry. So we made it back down from the shop. My tires aren't here yet. They are out for delivery. We are gonna get those mount and balance today back on the STI. While I'm here though, I am going to fix the 04 STI because I need to be driving that car because I am out of E85 and I need to go get more. I have like half a tank left in the WRX. So let's get the white STI fixed. I'll show you the overheating problem. It's as simple as swapping two fittings, putting it back on, and then burping the car. So let me go pop the hood and I'll show you. God damn, that thing dirty. I need to clean this car. A bird pooped on my fender. That's not okay. Look at that. Oh, it's almost all gone. The rain got it all. Bird poop. The other day I was driving this thing with the dogs in the car and I was freaking out because the car started to overheat. And we were just shooting coolant out of this reservoir and it's all up on the bottom side of the hood. It's everywhere over here. This happened because I swapped this Illuminati reservoir. This smaller hose needs to go on the top fitting, and the bigger hose needs to go on the bottom fitting because this is the pressure release. When pressure opens and it tries to release, it's just pressurizing the radiator. And then that opens that cap because it's over pressurizing and shooting coolant everywhere. So I need to fanoodle with this real quick. I lost a lot of coolant, so I don't even know if there's any even in this reservoir right now. It's very low, very low. So we need to fix that, re-burp it, and then we should be good to go. Pull off this. The coolant level's way down there, so I'm not really worried about coolant leaking out of there, but on the bottom, maybe I just had the lines on there wrong. It's a possibility, but the bottom fitting seems way bigger. It is definitely low on coolant. Fucking low it is. There's so many bubbles coming out already. We lost so much coolant. So far so good. We're sitting at like 189 degrees coolant temp. We don't know if we're gonna overheat yet. I'm watching bubbles come out of that thing, so. The car didn't overheat. It only got up to like 210 maximum, but still it weirds me out. I don't like it. Not a fan. So 189, 190. At 205, the fans should kick on and drop back down. I'll probably let it run for a while just to make sure that all air is out of that cooling system because I introduced a lot of fucking air in there when we were over pressurizing. So, you know, that's fun. It's been like 10 minutes, dude. We haven't gone over 201 degrees. It's sitting at like 199 right now. 198. I'm just trying to get it to 205. I just want the fans to kick on. Come on! 201. So I've gotten the fans to cycle 3 times. You guys know, you'll know you're done burping your car when there's no more movement coming out of that reservoir up there where your coolant is. It helps to have one of those coolant funnels a lot, so that way you can see it from inside the cabin as you're monitoring coolant temps. But we're not even going above 205 at all. Like it reaches 205, drops back down to 188, and then resets a cycle. So this is the last fan cycle I'm doing. Normally I'll do 3 fan cycles of no bubbles coming out of that overflow. If there's no bubbles coming out of it, we're Gucci and we're solid. So looks like our problem's fixed. Sweet, so 04 STI, no longer overheating. That was user install. One was my fault. It's fixed. It's golden now. Speaking of which, I'm still waiting on track to drop off my tires for the STI. So in the meantime, I have a couple things I'm gonna knock out on this 05 STI. So I need to do things like a finish IAT sensor, coolant overflow, things like that. Let me work on this real quick, and then hopefully by that time, we are solid and ready to go drop tires off. This video is going out today one way or another. I'm at Discount Tire right now. They're mounting up the R888Rs onto the works. Then we'll get them loaded up, swing them over to the shop, go get them put on the STI. I'm gonna put the STI back on the ground. I wanna see what it looks like with the wide body and everything on there. I'm probably gonna take the quick jacks from the house here in a week or so, bring them over to the shop to be able to use them on the blue car. Oh my God, all right, I forgot my tripod at the house. Wheels and tires are right there. I want to get them on the car. I want to get the car on the ground. I want to see what it looks like with the wide body, with the 275s. Dude, the R888Rs are a wild looking tire. Like that's a radius. That's like that's a summer tire. What am I saying? That is just a summer tire. That is only nice weather type of tire. Look how freaking good those things look though, man. Those Toyos, man. This is my first time ever with R888Rs, and I will say they are an interesting looking tire, but like I said, holy shit, that's a lot of wheel weights. Oh my God, man, these things are really unbalanced. So let's go ahead. It's weird because that's so weird because the TE37s had like no wheel weights. Those have a lot of wheel weights. And again, those are just like nice looking wheels. They're not like a track inspired wheel. Like the D9R is not a race wheel. It's a heavy wheel. That's a race wheel. So anyways, let's go ahead and get these on the car. Like I said, I forgot my tripod, so I'm gonna have to get a little bit creative of where I put the camera. So you probably won't get the best angles. I do apologize. I really want to see how these fit with the wide body. That's my biggest curiosity. Ugh. Not wide enough, I can tell you that much. Honestly, it'll definitely be tucked, but I think it'll be maybe like a 5mm spacer. I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. Coming down. I took a step back and I looked at it, and I just looked at him like, you look so stupid right now. It'll look good. It will look good. Right now it looks a little, the front end is so high up because there's no engine in there to like load the suspension. The bumper is completely stripped apart because we have a Varis bumper coming for the car. The wide body looks good. It just looks unfinished because, well, it is unfinished, but let me show you. The wheels need to come out a little bit. I'll probably run like a 10mm spacer on there, get some extended lugs and run a 10mm spacer that way, and I think that should help. We can finally get rid of all the camber in the rear of the car. I'm surprised that 10.5s, they definitely don't fit under the fender, but you know what? They are close. I do really like these wheels, by the way, but yeah, we can pull out all the camber. Actually, we can remove all the camber in the front and the rear, and that should help push the wheels more level with the body kit. I think running in like a 10mm spacer should help. I know a lot of people who do drag racing and they run spacers. As long as you use the proper spacers and you do it right, you shouldn't have any problems. Like, yes, this car is going to make over 1,000 horsepower, but you know, we can make it look good too, damn it. I believe we also have a carbon fiber hood coming. I'm not 100% sure on that one. We might. I am 100% certain we do have a Varis front bumper coming, but sick, dude. It doesn't look bad. It just looks awkward. Probably help if there was an engine in here, so that way it could load the front suspension, which, speaking of the engine, I talked to Jeremy. I guess he ran into an issue with like head porting, his head porting guy. I guess he left, but he came back to do the cylinder head for this car. So hopefully we should have the engine back soon. Like I said, I'm still focusing on wiring anyways, so it's not like a massive deal. Like, I need the engine right this second. I've got that spare one down there I can use as mock-up, but overall, I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks unfinished because you got to remember, those giant carbon sheets over there that we have are going to go underneath of the side skirt, and then there's going to be like a big swooping piece right here. It'll look good when it's done, okay? Just trust me. You guys trusted me last time and it came out beautiful. Trust me again and it's going to come out better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have tried to hire Matt to just sit in my passenger seat with me and film everything while we're on the 750 wheel map, because I get the stupidest cars that try to mess with me. I get the stupidest cars that try to mess with me. On the way back, it was a Chrysler 200, a stock 370Z, a stock 5.0, and it's like nobody expects these little Subarus to be like stupid fast, and then when they're stupid fast, it's funny. Maybe I'll just put a dash cam in. I have a dash cam. Why do I have a dash cam in the 04 STI but not the WRX? It makes no sense. Anyways, as you guys saw, trust process, all right? I know the car looks stupid right now, okay? Blue will get, I promise, all right? It'll be the greatest. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfection. Give me a little bit of time. But with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. I think Matt and I are going to be finishing up this car in the next day or so, so hopefully we can get this one out of here. So this car will be out of here hopefully in like a day or two. So with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. So if you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be able to put it in one of these corners, but no idea which one quite yet. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.